Hey, what's up, guys? So I did see Hero Hayes' video on this particular subject. However, I was gonna go ahead and look up all the tweets and things like that to kind of comment for myself and kind of add my take on it, but I couldn't find any of those. It took me a little bit. So I saw that Rev actually posted a video about it, which I have not watched his take on it yet. So we're just going to go ahead and do a react video on this. To catch people up to speed, to summarize it before I start the video, because I don't know what Rev is going to say about it. Basically, there was a Japanese author that quit as far as like social media goes, because, Twitter is going to Twitter. If that makes any sense. Let's go ahead. We're going to watch this, and then every so often I might pause it and put in my 2 cents. So here we go.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, we'll be looking at yet another example of a Japanese creator being harassed off of social media by overseas users. This time we're talking about Kei Urana. We have talked about her multiple times before. She unfortunately has been the victim of non-stop harassment campaigns over the past couple of months. She is the author of the series Gachi Akira, which is very popular, but also with many...
I'm going to be honest, I've not actually heard about that manga, so I might actually have to check that out.
Any other popular Japanese media. It has attracted an overseas audience that, especially on social media, has been incredibly toxic. And as we can see, she has
the overseas audience being toxic must be another day that ends in Y, as Rev would most of the time say.
Deactivated on Twitter, alongside many of the artists who are part of her team due to the most recent harassment campaign. And this is just another unfortunate example of someone with...
So here, let me go ahead and read this. So this is on the anime updates. I did not actually see this when I was trying to find it, but basically Kei Urana has deleted her X profile after blocking certain individuals for criticizing her recent comments and online behavior. Her account appears to have been deactivated. This comes just hours after Gacha Tudo won 3 awards earlier today. Okay, so I can't remember from Hero Hayes' video the full context on what she said, because it was a couple of days ago when I watched that. So at least this is going to catch me, kind of refresh me on what happened there. But I do remember watching his video on it.
With good intentions, who's tried to communicate with this overseas group of social media users, still being harassed nonstop, despite many people believing she has done absolutely nothing wrong. So what are we talking about here? Well, here is the context leading up to today. So Kei Urana is the author of the series Gachi Akira, which is very popular, and it's also
Gachi Akira. Okay, I probably pronounced that wrong earlier.
Attracted an overseas audience as well. Now, the backlash began when people from the Western side of Twitter started assuming that this character was trans, and that was based simply off of...
Why is it that... And you seem to... This is prevalent on Twitter, it seems. I mean, what is it with people making up these headcanons about characters that they literally know nothing about? It doesn't make any sense to me. Imagine if you created some sort of a story or a narrative and you had a particular character and you had your own idea in mind on what they were, and then a bunch of people online said, oh no, this is not how they should be, or this is not how I see them, this is how they should be. It's like, how aggravating would that be? Imagine you're that person creating something and everyone else decides that they're going to label your own creation, your character, who's not real, by the way, and people forget this all the time. These characters, they're not real.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
Headcanon, to the point where Kei Urana, the author, had to come out and say, no, this character is not trans, where then weirdos on Twitter started to assume her identity, claiming she was non-binary, which, as you can...
Okay, so it's not enough to go ahead and make this headcanon about fictional characters. Now they got to try to impose that on real people. What are we doing? Come on.
See from a related post, she was quite surprised to learn that about herself, because that is not how she identifies. And then people on the Western side of Twitter saw her deny that she is non-binary, and they claimed that was creating a safe space for transphobia, because apparently it's
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Are you serious? At what they will go to lengths, miles, to try to impose their idea on other people, like project their bullshit onto other people. I mean, if you, I've always believed in a live and let live philosophy, right? You do your thing, and that's cool. Just don't impose onto me, and don't try to convince me I'm something I'm not, because now it seems like that's what they're doing. Now they're trying to convince other people that they're something that they're not. This is reaching levels of just insanity.
transphobia to correct people when they make false claims.
Like, you can't even like breathe without someone labeling you as something anymore. It's ridiculous.
About your identity. Then things got even worse when people coming off of that set of drama used it to justify harassing her when she made a very baseline claim asking people to not use official covers as templates for original art. That is the most basic thing to request of any group of fans, but apparently this was too much for that already very toxic portion of the overseas audience who used this as an opportunity to harass her. And then all of this culminated into a live stream where she was harassed over all of these issues, where she was harassed, where people were trying to claim she was non-binary, talking about the identity of her characters, talking about shipping, asking her if she was racist, transphobic, all of these things, to the point where she had to make several statements talking about how frustrated she is dealing with an overseas group of social.
I'd be frustrated too. Okay, as fans, and I mean, like, and I say the term loosely, right? Like, but us anime fans, us over here in the West, and those who claim to be fans, this message is mostly for you. Can you do better? Do you really, like, the Japanese don't think the way we do. They have a whole different culture and a whole different way of thinking. Is there some similarities? I'm sure there is, but we don't. There's no way you could ever understand really where a Japanese person's coming from, unless, of course, you are Japanese. You know, but it's like we can do better than this. It's no wonder that the Japanese have a particular viewpoint of how we are over here, because I know we're not all that way over here. A lot of us will try to step in and try to defend from this kind of crap, but is it really a surprise that they have a particular view about us? Because a lot of people over here, especially in this camp of people, have caused them nothing but grief. And then it's no wonder they're jumping off of social media and not wanting to talk to any Western fan. It's no wonder. You shouldn't be surprised at this point, because this is the kind of stuff that they have to deal with all the time. We can do better, and we should do better.
Social media users constantly harassing her and putting words in her mouth, and now we see the next step, which is her officially
By the way, no true fan does this crap, by the way. I'm talking more to, let's just be real, the tourist.
Deactivating on Twitter. And like I said earlier, it's not just her, it's several members of her team as well who try to defend her and end up getting harassed themselves.
Yeah, see, and for those that are trying to step in and defend and getting harassed yourself, you know what? Fight back. That's what we have to do. Yeah, I know it's sad. You can't even step in to defend someone without getting harassment yourself. But you know what? We got to push. We have to push. This is getting ridiculous, and this is getting out of hand. You know, normally I would just say, you know what? It is what it is, but not anymore. This is becoming ridiculous levels of nonsense that has to stop.
This most recent...
Let me just be clear here before I continue the video. If this kind of thing continues, I don't want to hear anyone whine and cry when we stop getting anime, when we stop getting any kind of video game that's Japanese made. I don't want to hear anyone cry if that stops, because this is the kind of stuff that's going to keep happening unless we push back on it. And I don't want to see that happen. I love my anime. I love my Japanese RPGs. I would like to continue to see them happen. But if this continues, the Japanese are going to be like, why should we cater to an audience that obviously, and in their mind, they're going to see this as we don't like them or we don't care. And that's not the reality of it. Those of us who have a chance to stand up and say something, and that's another reason I'm doing this video. We need to say something now. We can't sit back in the shadows anymore.
Situation stems from a post she shared on Instagram where you have this individual using these green onions instead of locks to pretend to be this character from her series. And people said, now why the F would Urana post a guy putting green onions as if it's jabber locks, bruh. And this is really what set off the next harassment campaign where people were now claiming that Kei Urana was racist, where people were tagging her, making all sorts of very aggressive comments towards her, tagging and other behavior that people will openly admit while they're getting blocked and then complaining about being blocked. As you can see, there's this post that went viral saying, claim here your I survived the Kei Urana mass block badge, saying survivor of the 2026 mass block. As I always say, getting blocked on Twitter typically just means you're annoying.
Right?
Right? Like, not every time someone gets blocked on Twitter, it means they're being silenced because what they're saying is so profound and devastating to the recipient that they just can't handle it. Most of the time, it's because you're annoying. That's it. You're annoying, you're attention seeking, and that's exactly what this original poster admits to. They say that they've been spamming her name left and right, even...
Oh my god, why do people act like this? You know what the sad part about this is? These are probably adults. These are probably grown adults acting like this. This is the kind of crap you do when you're a kid, when you're a child. Grow up.
Having people tag her under their posts. Wow, I wonder why someone might get blocked because of behavior like that. But of course, Kei Urana would try to explain what happened with her post here that created these allegations that she's racist, saying,
Oh my god, really? Really? Why does everyone gotta jump on that card over every little stupid thing?
This is a quote from a dance video that recreates the scene by using hair to resemble a leek. I apologize if it caused offense. I will remove the...
You'll also notice, by the way, that and with a lot of these Japanese creators, have you noticed the common pattern? These people dogpile on them. And this is probably another reason why this happens and why they do this. You'll notice that Japanese have a very apologetic type of culture, right? So if they have a bunch of people dogpiling them on something, they're going to actually feel like maybe they did something wrong and they're going to apologize. It's just kind of part of their culture. Are they all that way? I can't say. I would imagine probably not all, everyone's different, but for the most part, you'll notice this pattern. And I feel like people take advantage of that. These types of people that do this, they are taking advantage of that because I see it almost every single time. Japanese creator gets dogpiled for something they actually did not do wrong. There was nothing wrong that they did, but they were made to believe they did something wrong because all these stupid asses dogpiled on them, and now they feel the need to apologize when they shouldn't have to. And it's sad to see. It really is. It makes me sick.
Quote, I shared the dance because I found it entertaining and I had no intention of making fun of the culture. And also she said she's happy to see so many people recreating Jabber's dance and Zanka's falling down in such a fun and cool way. And she also says that, well, basically, I'm not this person you say you are, but people continue to say, well, there she is doubling down. She's a racist. And people make posts like this. I don't know what they're quoting because the person has gone private, but it says, address the problem, say a genuine apology, and be better and mature. No. Block your fans and create more of a mess and act childish. And you can see the note saying Kei Urana apologized for reposting the video and provided an explanation. But that's never good enough. It's never good enough. You can apologize, you can capitulate.
He's right, by the way. You can apologize until the cows come home, and it's not going to be good enough for these people. It never will be. So, you know what I say? Don't apologize. Just don't. Here's the thing. You don't want to be canceled, because it's actually very possible not to be canceled. And let me tell you the trick. Just don't care.
To these people, they're still going to be mad. All of these people on Twitter, they're always going to be mad.
Why do you think Asmongold continues to go and continues to go? How many times have they tried to throw that man under the bus or tried to cancel him, and he's still going? You want to know what his secret is? He has the power of, I don't give a crap.
They're not looking for a genuine apology. They don't even care. They just want to use it as an excuse to dogpile you and harass you. And right around that time, Kay Urana would post this on Twitter, her final post before deactivating, saying, "Alright, X chaos is on the rise, and I've decided it's getting in the way of..."
Now, I'm probably not going to go ahead and react to this whole video because I don't want to... I want everyone... I'm going to leave the original link to Rev's video in the description below. I just kind of wanted to throw in my 2 cents a little bit on this. Go watch his video, please. I don't want to... If I'm going to do a react like this, I'm not going to do the whole video. I want everyone... If you want to see the rest of it, go watch his video. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. I'm just going to quit here. Basically, my summary is... Japanese artist or Japanese creator, you know, they did something that they thought was funny on their end, and people attacked them. It's basically the same thing we see almost all the time, and it's getting sick. We need to stand up for our Japanese creators. We really do. This has to stop. Or what I said's going to happen, they're going to stop wanting to market over here. You don't believe me, but it will happen if this continues. But anyway, that's all I really have for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Whether you agree, whether you disagree. You know what? I'm always willing to have that conversation. But all right, that's going to do it for this video. Go check out the rest of Rev's video, and peace.